Ladies and gentlemen, friends, distinguished guests, and honorable speakers, thank you for coming to Start to Success within 6 months. Karl Chong. He is the founder of Be Economic Singapore and the CEO of Groupon Singapore. He returned to New York much earlier than we expected. There were 2 traits I want to highlight about Karl. Karl is a great deal maker. He is able to attract the Women's Magazine of Singapore, ranked him as one of the top 50 most loved men in Singapore. And secondly, he was a featured personality in the Asia Channel News for his great success. Before he started, Karl is not a shabby guy at all. He was a successful investment banker, private equity in Macquarie, in New York City. Prior to that, he was a business analyst at Procter & Gamble, a trader at UBS Bank of Switzerland, and he also studied at INSEAD, which is a very well-known European MBA. And while during his MBA study, he came up with a great idea: Be Economic. And shortly after, I think 6 months in launching his business, him and his brother got invited by the US buying giant Groupon. And consequently, he joined this organization and received a significant compensation. So that's in a nutshell of Karl. And I think I want to make this as a chance for everyone to learn about the business venture of Karl and the challenges that he went through, what he made him today. And then we'll open up to the audience to ask some questions. I'm sure that you have a lot of questions for him. So without further ado, please join me and welcome Karl.
Thanks everyone, I'm very privileged to speak to you. First of all, I just want to say happy birthday to Joanne. Joanne's in this room. Happy birthday, Joanne. Second thing is, in that magazine, the 50 Men We Love thing in Singapore, what people don't know is Singapore is a very small city. In fact, there are only 50 men anyway. I'm going to go through sort of in chronological order, like my personal experience, the risks and challenges that I faced, and then let's make it sort of like very interactive, a lot of Q&A, because at the end of the night, this is not about me, it's about you guys, how you can be enriched, how you can be empowered to know that you could also do what I did. And it's really just about how much drive, how much work are you willing to put into you growing your own business, And one thing about being an entrepreneur, something that people don't realize, is you can be an entrepreneur by starting up your own business, but you can also be an entrepreneur in your own roles, in working for people. So I worked for a fantastic company called Macquarie Bank before, where what we were told is you're entrepreneurial, work with freedom within boundaries, and when you do that in your own work, in your own roles, people will recognize that, and that's how new ideas are created. So you don't have to start your own business to be an entrepreneur. You can do it in your own roles. So what I did was I researched heavily on Groupon, realizing that this is a really hot idea. And instead of starting up the idea in America, I didn't want to start it here because I'd be competing with Groupon, and that's not the best, smartest move. So I looked up, the UK. I looked up Europe. Guess what? There were Groupon lookalikes there. So what I did was I checked out Asia, and luckily no site had been established in Southeast Asia. So what I did was I explored markets like Singapore, Malaysia, Australia. I'm actually from Australia, so I know the market there very well. But I ended up choosing Singapore because the demographic there was just perfect for the Groupon concept. People there are web savvy. Facebook and Twitter is just very popular there. Credit card, online transactions are part of people's lives. This was 2 things. One is hard work, you know, be extremely diligent and passionate about what you do, and just like put in the hours, you know, get your team motivated, and achieve that result. The second thing was be kind.